demolition worker. Today we witness the ultimate battle between the strongest submarine steel and our massive industrial machines. This is premium submarine steel, known as the absolute best in the world, designed to withstand crushing pressure of deep oceans. Look at these massive curved hull sections arriving at our scrapyard. They once protected military secrets in the darkest depths. Now their honorable service has ended. Dismantling these indestructible giants requires machinery with unimaginable power and extreme mechanical brute force. Moving these heavy plates is our first major challenge. Standard cranes struggle under the immense weight of this specialized military alloy. We bring in heavy excavators equipped with strong electromagnetic lifters to carefully transport these massive curved steel sections across the yard. The sheer density of this steel makes every movement dangerous and slow. Safety is our highest priority in this extreme environment. You can see the thick layers of protective coating still clinging to the metal, a testament to its long underwater life. Destination is the massive hydraulic baler, a mechanical beast designed to crush absolutely anything that enters its massive steel jaws. Before we begin, the operators meticulously inspect the hydraulic lines and pressure gauges to ensure maximum performance during this extreme test. The giant baler is powered by colossal diesel engines that generate enough force to flatten entire vehicles in just a few seconds. But submarine steel is completely different from regular car frames. It is engineered specifically to resist bending, cracking, and structural failure. The heavy crane slowly lowers the first curved hull section into the gaping chamber of the giant baler. The showdown begins. The massive steel plate settles into the crushing chamber with a loud, echoing thud that shakes the ground beneath our feet. Operators secure the perimeter and initiate the startup sequence. The hydraulic pumps roar to life, vibrating the entire heavy industrial facility. We position multiple cameras to capture every single angle of this incredibly satisfying process. You will not want to miss this. The heavy steel lid of the baler begins to descend, closing the chamber and trapping the invincible submarine hull piece inside. This machine uses 3 independent hydraulic rams to compress the material from multiple directions, ensuring a perfectly dense and compact block. The primary ram makes contact with the curved steel. At first, absolutely nothing happens. The strong alloy fiercely resists the pressure. Hydraulic pressure gauges spike rapidly as the machine pushes harder. Battle between ultimate steel and extreme machinery is intensifying. We can see the thick steel plate holding its shape perfectly. It is a brilliant display of advanced military engineering materials. But the massive baler does not stop. The giant hydraulic cylinders continue to extend, applying an overwhelming amount of continuous force. Suddenly, a terrifying groaning sound echoes from the chamber. The indestructible submarine steel is finally beginning to yield under the pressure. Watch closely as the thick metal starts to warp. The incredible tension creates visible stress lines across the dark painted surface. Flakes of old marine paint shatter and explode off the bending metal, revealing the bright, shiny alloy hidden underneath the surface. The curve of the hull is slowly forced into a flat shape. It is an incredibly satisfying and mesmerizing visual experience. This is the exact moment where human engineering defeats nature. The strong steel that conquered the ocean cannot beat this machine. The secondary hydraulic ram activates, pushing the flattened steel sideways. The powerful machine is now folding the thick plate like paper. Sparks fly as the heavy metal grinds against the hardened steel walls of the crushing chamber. The sheer friction is immense. You can actually feel the heat radiating from the crushing process. The mechanical energy being transferred into the metal is massive. The steel folds over itself, creating a double layer of extremely dense metal alloy. The baler continues pushing without any hesitation. It is fascinating to watch something so rigid and strong behave almost like soft clay under the power of modern hydraulics. The pressure reaches its absolute maximum peak. The machine groans deeply as it forces the folded steel into a tight corner. The third and final ram engages, compressing the folded metal from the front to create a perfectly shaped and dense cube. The structural integrity of the submarine hull has been completely destroyed. It is now just a raw material waiting for recycling. The hydraulic pressure is slowly released. The deafening roar of the machine quiets down, leaving a strange silence in the yard. The heavy lid of the chamber opens up slowly, revealing the incredible transformation that just happened hidden deep inside the machine. What was once a massive curved piece of advanced military technology is now a neat, compact, square block of scrap metal. The ejection mechanism pushes the heavy cube out of the chamber. It tumbles onto the concrete floor with a massive crash. Look at the density of this block. It weighs several tons but is now small enough to be easily transported away. The edges of the cube show the extreme violence of the crushing process. Thick steel is twisted, torn, and compacted. We prepare the next piece of the submarine hull. The satisfying process will repeat until the entire giant vessel is processed. A massive claw excavator picks up another curved section. The operator swings the heavy load effortlessly toward the hungry baler machine. This second piece is even thicker than the first. It contains part of the internal structural ribbing of the submarine hull. Dropping it into the chamber requires extreme precision. The operator carefully aligns the bulky metal piece within the hardened steel walls. The lid closes again. The hydraulic pumps scream as they encounter immediate resistance from the reinforced structural ribbing of the steel. This time, the battle is much harder. The massive baler actually stalls for a brief second before the pressure builds again. The sheer power of the hydraulic fluid rushing through the thick hoses is enough to push through the temporary mechanical stall. A loud crack echoes through the yard as the internal structural ribbing finally snaps under the overwhelming force of the ram. The thick steel plate begins to fold rapidly now. The initial resistance is broken, and the powerful machine dominates the material. It is deeply satisfying to watch the unstoppable force of the baler crush the immovable object of the submarine hull plate. The metal crunches and folds into a tight ball. The immense pressure squeezes out every single pocket of empty air inside. Another perfect cube is ejected from the machine. The scrapyard is slowly filling up with these heavy blocks of steel. These blocks will be sent to a foundry where they will be melted down at extreme temperatures in a massive furnace. The incredible strength of this premium alloy will be reborn into new products, continuing its useful life in a different form. Recycling this high-grade military steel saves an enormous amount of energy and raw materials compared to mining and forging anew. We are witnessing the ultimate circle of industrial life: creation, destruction, and eventual rebirth through the power of advanced modern technology. The team works tirelessly throughout the day, feeding endless pieces of the dismantled submarine into the relentless jaws of the machine. Each crunching sound is a symphony of industrial power. The visual transformation of the tough metal is nothing short of art. Even the toughest materials on Earth must eventually surrender to the relentless progression of time and the power of heavy machinery. We capture a close-up shot of the hydraulic rams in action. The shiny chrome cylinders push forward with terrifying power. The precision engineering of the huge baler is just as impressive as the submarine steel it is currently destroying right now. It requires perfect synchronization of valves, pumps, and massive steel components to generate this level of destructive force without breaking apart. The sun begins to set over the scrapyard, casting a beautiful golden glow over the mountains of processed steel cubes. The giant baler continues to work under the artificial floodlights. The destruction process never stops in this busy industrial recycling facility. Sparks from the crushing metal look even more spectacular in the dark. It is a beautiful display of raw mechanical energy. We are processing the final section of the submarine hull tonight. It is the thickest and most challenging piece of all. The crane operator carefully lowers this massive chunk of history into the chamber. Everyone watches closely as the final crush begins. Huge machine groans louder than ever before. The entire ground shakes violently as the hydraulic rams push against the steel. For a terrifying moment, it seems like the machine might fail. The steel refuses to bend, standing strong against the pressure, but the hydraulic pumps deliver another massive surge of power. The thick metal finally gives way with a massive, deafening boom. The plate folds violently, snapping inward and crushing into itself. The machine has won the final and most difficult battle tonight. The rams complete their cycle, packing the shattered metal into the cube we have produced during this entire demolition operation. As the heavy lid opens, a cloud of dust and heat rises from the chamber, revealing the ultimate victory of machinery. The final block is ejected, joining the massive wall of recycled steel cubes waiting for their journey to the melting foundry. Looking at this organized stack of metal, it is hard to believe it was once a proud deep-sea diving submarine. This is the true magic of the demolition and recycling industry. We turn massive, obsolete structures into valuable, reusable raw materials. The premium submarine steel has been completely conquered. Its incredible strength was no match for the relentless crushing power of hydraulics. We hope you enjoyed watching this incredibly satisfying process of industrial destruction. It is always thrilling to test these extreme limits. The heavy machinery is finally powered down for the night. The deafening roar of the diesel engines fades into absolute silence. The operators conduct their final safety checks and lock down the massive baler. It needs to rest before tomorrow's heavy challenges. Tomorrow, a fleet of heavy transport trucks will arrive to carry these dense steel cubes away to the high-temperature furnaces. The cycle of industry continues relentlessly. New steel will be forged, new machines will be built, and the process will repeat. We are proud to play our part in this vital recycling chain, ensuring that valuable materials are never wasted or forgotten. Demolition is not just about breaking things apart. It is the essential first step in creating something completely new and useful. Thank you for joining us on this amazing journey through the scrapyard. The battle of steel and machine was epic. If you found this extreme crushing process as satisfying as we did, make sure to engage with our channel for more. We have plenty of exciting demolition projects coming up, featuring even bigger machines and tougher materials waiting to be completely crushed. Stay tuned for our next episode where we tackle another massive industrial challenge. The world of heavy demolition is truly fascinating. Thank you for watching Demolition Worker. No matter how strong the material is, we will always find a way to crush it.